You know, it's been said it's not easy being green. Actually, I think you said that first. Well, more so today because Donald Trump has come up with a plan to annex Greenland, ignore their national identity, and in doing so, save the world. Well, that seems to be the logic. As you're about to see in our breaking report from the Senate today, Senator Lisa Murkowski may well have erected a detour on Trump's march to Greenland. Let's have a look at his plan as of yesterday, and then we'll give you today's latest twist in this modern saga, because to quote Marcellus from another historically effed up saga, something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
I think Greenland will be worked out with us. I think we're going to have it. And I think the people want to be with us. As you know, there's 55,000 people there that want to be with us. I don't know really what claim Denmark has to it, but it would be a very unfriendly act if they didn't allow that to happen, because that's for protection of the free world. Right now you have Russian ships, you have China ships, you have ships from various countries. It's not a good situation. It has nothing to do with the United States other than we're the one that can provide the freedom. They can't. They can't. I mean, they put 2 dog sleds there 2 weeks ago. They thought that was protection. But people don't like the way they've been treated by Denmark.
They put 2 dog sleds there last week and called it protection. Now, why wouldn't you want what we have? Greenland, Denmark. I mean, haven't you seen just how good it can be? Before we show you Senator Murkowski's stunning announcement issued last night, let's find out what the gentle and polite Danes think about all of this in Denmark.
International backlash is building today against Donald Trump's vows to acquire both Greenland and the Panama Canal. First, it was a Danish member of the European Parliament who used some colorful language to reject the idea that Denmark would ever sell Greenland.
Dear President Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, off.
Okay, then. Now, you may ask yourself, why all this fuss about Greenland? Why would Senator Murkowski issue the statement that we have for you in just a second, late last night, challenging all of this? Well, HAFO, hang around and find out.
Mining companies around the world have operations in Greenland, including the New York-based Critical Metals Corp, a publicly traded company, and Cobalt Metals, a privately owned exploration firm backed by big names like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates.
In essence, when Donald Trump talks about Greenland, one of the things he is interested in is how can the United States and other friendly nations ensure that Greenland's mineral potential, if exploited further, is exploited for our benefit. Or he is also preoccupied with stopping China develop a foothold in Greenland and then dominating Greenlandic resources and then creating a further stranglehold on rare earth supplies globally.
I think it's important for us to say that Greenland is not for sale, never has been for sale, never will be for sale.
I think a very unlikely possibility is Greenland becoming a 51st state of the United States, or Greenland joining Alaska and becoming an even larger 50th state. I think that's not likely to come to pass.
So here's our featured story today. Senator Lisa Murkowski and a Danish lawmaker last night issued a joint statement in an effort to protect Greenland from a good oranging. Senator Lisa Murkowski joined with a Danish lawmaker on Monday to push back against President Trump's continued insistence that the U.S. control of Greenland is necessary for American national security. Murkowski, who has publicly disagreed with Trump in the past, and Aja Chemnitz, forgive me if I got that wrong, who represents Greenland in Danish parliament, said in the joint statement that Americans should work to view Greenland as a partner and not as a potential asset. As legislators representing Greenland in Denmark and the United States, we see a better path forward, the two lawmakers wrote in a statement. The United States, like Denmark, should recognize that the future will be defined by partnership, not ownership, they continued. To ensure our alliance reaches its full potential, Americans must view Greenland as an ally, not an asset, open for business, but not for sale. Murkowski and Chemnitz said that they understand why Trump, as a businessman, would be interested in acquiring Greenland. But they said the issue has been settled. The appeal of Greenland is easy to understand, they wrote. It is strategically located for defense, shipping, and more. It is also a storehouse for all sorts of minerals, the building blocks of society that will determine who leads and controls the industries of the future. Of course, a businessman turned president would be interested, but Greenland is not for sale. The question has been asked and firmly answered by the government of Greenland. I'm not even going to try, they continued. Trump has focused intently on plans to take over Greenland, a semi-autonomous Arctic island that is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. During his inauguration speech, Trump referred to the U.S. as a growing nation expanding its territory. He has also called for the U.S. to retake the Panama Canal and mused about the annexing of Canada. Trump and Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen spoke on January 15th in what was reportedly a 45-minute fiery phone call. According to the Financial Times, senior European officials said the conversation spiraled into a confrontation and that Trump, who was president-elect at the time, was aggressive and threatened tariffs against the NATO ally. The president is committed to not only protecting U.S. interests in the Arctic, but also working with Greenland to ensure mutual prosperity for both nations, he added. Alas, we are living in an absurd world past Shakespeare's ability to imagine wretched human behavior. That said, at such times, my pea-brain says go to the sages from the past, from a world that no longer exists, for guidance moving ahead.
His plea we make of thee, and say we see a little hope for he.
To fight or flee, to fight or flee, I ask myself, to be or not to be.
And so that becomes the question for Denmark's little buddy, to be or not to be Orangeland.